on one of these videos. Oh my god, don't die, don't die, don't die. Okay, let's try that again. Oh my god. What? Ow. Yeah! I'm not doing that again. Hey, it's the Mayo, and welcome back to another video. It's your gal, BELATED, and today, my friends, it's the anniversary of Distant Goodbyes, or at least, I hope this is uploaded on the anniversary of Distant Goodbyes. Kind of neglected doing this sooner, but we're doing it now. You want the breakdown of this particular song? Well, great! You're on the right video. So let's get down to it. On to the video. Woo! Ah!
For those who are unfamiliar, heya, my name is BELATED, but y'all can just call me Bella for short. I'm an actress, I am an artist, I'm a writer, and also a singer-songwriter. Yeah, it's a lot, I know. I do cosplay as well. As you can see from the abundance of cosplays and conventions I've actually gone to. It's kind of crazy on how much has changed over the past couple of years. I'm still learning the fundamentals of cosplay. I haven't done it in a bit. I have some characters that I genuinely want to cosplay, but that's a topic for another video. What I genuinely wanted to discuss today is Distant Goodbyes itself. What it means to me as the creator, and what it means for the character that it's based around, BELATED herself. Today, I will be doing a full lyric breakdown of the entire song, diving into some of Bella's actual lore, and just explaining a lot of her character that I know a lot of y'all haven't really thought of before, since you've only seen her, but I've never actually explained her. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today, because we are changing that story, baby! I will be explaining Bella today. Finally! People outside of my friends will know exactly who BELATED is. To start off, BELATED was originally created in 2015 as a persona character. To those who aren't in the art community and have no idea what a persona is short for personification. A persona character, it basically, it writes itself. Bella was originally a personification of how I saw myself all the way back in 2015. However, 5th grade me had no idea that she would become how she is today, and had no idea that I would do as much as I do today, and Bella just kept evolving. Bella was then turned into her own character when I was in 6th grade, and I just wanted a character to latch onto and just see myself in media. Because as an autistic girl, yeah, that was a pretty rough start. And considering I was evolving her character at the time when I was being severely bullied psychologically and emotionally, yeah, it was a lot. So Bella kind of became this character that I could latch onto and just create her own adventures and stories. I could have her travel different universes and just go into any fandom that I really enjoyed. For context, younger Bella had no idea what an actual fandom was until 2017, and this was all the way back in 2015, 2016. This is like at the height of the Undertale craze. I knew about Undertale loosely through a couple friends, and just did the normal things that kids did at that time, just like drawing little crazy AUs that didn't really have much meaning to them. At least I thought that was normal. That was my normal back then. I don't know if anyone else did it. Maybe it's a canon art event. Any artist kids that did that, just let yourselves be known in the comments. However, it was in making all those little crazy things that I did in that sketchbook of mine that eventually shaped Bella into the character that she eventually became. In many of Bella's earliest drafts, she was a lot more shy, a little socially awkward, maybe a bit more loud than she is currently, but she was always a joy for younger me to draw. I could just have her going on adventures and just not have a care in the world. But there wasn't a full concrete character to her yet. It wasn't till around, I'd say, 2019 to 2020 when Bella was finally getting her footing on her actual story. That was around the time when a certain thing happened to the entire world and we all kinda got, let's just say we just got dropkicked to the ether and we're never allowed back out. Seriously, that's the only way I'm ever going to talk about that. However, it was the lockdown that actually sparked a lot more of my creativity. It really allowed me to finally finalize Bella's entire backstory, which I'm now going to elaborate on. Bella Days is a survivor. She's a survivor of extreme emotional and psychological bullying from the hands of Claudia, Kiki, and Kyle. 3 characters I think you might be very familiar with if you've seen some of my videos. In case you aren't, Claudia, Kiki, and Kyle are the trio that bullied Bella all the way back in middle school and caused a lot of the emotional damage and the horrors that happened to her all the way back then. Bella was a victim of circumstances that she could not control. She is a half-human, half-supernatural being hybrid, which in my world are very, very uncommon, and not to mention that the fact that her half-supernatural lineage is a shapeshifter, which are also known for being extraordinarily powerful. They can perform complicated spells easier, they can adapt much easier, they have faster regeneration, and they have a closer kinship with their base abilities that most supernatural beings can only dream of. However, this does come with the drawbacks of pride, arrogance, and severe ego and recklessness, which has unfortunately left a lot of shapeshifters not living past their 20s and some dying as young as 11. It does not help the fact that their abilities unlock much earlier than most supernaturals, and that they're more vulnerable to memoria, dementia, Delaware, or in human terms and in non-geek speak, magic corruption. It's kind of like magic pollution. Her life was not easy at the start. Since supernatural shapeshifters have a higher vocal range than most humans, it made Bella, unfortunately, a extremely easy and susceptible target. Very easy to manipulate, very easy to scare, and very easy to back into a corner. But something changed. Enter Tensia Itabashi, or as Bella learned to call him, Tenya. Tenya was her best friend. She spent a lot of time with him and his friends. When he saw her being picked on Halloween, he rightfully stepped in and put a stop to it. He invited her for trick-or-treating, and they were best friends ever since. Bella had never had anyone stand up for her before, nor had she ever had anyone genuinely want to be her friend before outside of her siblings, who she genuinely cared for and spent a lot of time with. Those siblings being Benjamin and Dawn. The two shared a lot of artistic interests, and one of them being music. Bella had a very strong desire to try to learn songwriting, but she didn't really know where to start. Thankfully, Tensia's mom being a music teacher, she knew exactly how to guide Bella into writing the song that eventually became in-universe Distant Goodbyes. It was originally written on piano, while Tensia played the guitar, and eventually this became something that they workshopped together as friends, until everything ended, and Bella's life became a living nightmare at middle school. Some of this song not only reflects Bella Days' story, but my own story, because I too have 2 siblings just like Bella. However, I'm not the oldest child. Mentally, I am the oldest because of things I don't want to go too deep into. Physically, I am the youngest sibling, and that is what I want to show with Bella, which is why I have the days structured the way they are. And Now that we've covered our basics on Bella's story, we can finally cover the lyrics themselves, if you've made it this far. Narratively speaking, the beginning of the song is where Bella Days herself is at her lowest. And it really shows with lyrics like,
night's facade cloaks bitter truth, conceals the sweetest evasion. Tonight I'll share this wish of mine, the fleeting words I cry.
These particular lyrics were very intentional, and with the lyric video, the visuals themselves were very intentional. With the higher falsetto, I kind of wanted to highlight certain phrases to feel like it's either her conscience telling her that she's not really speaking her mind, or, well, you can leave it up to interpretation of what else it could be. I definitely had a lot of fun working on that. It was the first time I'd actually done something. I know originally I wanted to try doing harmony, but I just could not work it in for the life of me. Crazy how that works. I mean, I probably would do some things different now, but it's still really good for what I did. The second half of the narrative is within the chorus. It's Bella's hopes and dreams. It's almost structured like an I Want song, if you know what musical theater I Want songs are, because she just wants her siblings to be safe. That's who she's speaking to in this entire song. She wants other people to be safe, but in this first chorus, she doesn't really consider herself.
Oh, my darling, can we ever meet again tonight? Where tomorrow waits for you and I hold you tight as I say all my distant goodbyes, 'cause I hope you'll get through this dark and lonely night.
And then we get to verse 2 where things start to take a turn and her perspective starts to shift with lyrics such as,
fragile daydreams slumber away, my world shifts anew, painting the sky with pigments of life, the nightingale sings its sorrowful lies.
I really wanted to highlight the shift in Bella's mindset and wanting to hope for more, not just for others and wanting to keep them safe, but maybe some hope for herself. But then we get this very dark line.
Unveiling the night, words break away, I can't deny my pain. All their voices feel so far away, am I the monster they say?
The thing people don't talk about with bullying is how bullies break you psychologically. At least my bullies did, with not physical torment, but words and psychological mind games. Basically guerrilla warfare. It was one of, if not the most, I cannot even put into words how damaging it was, but I know I would not wish it upon anyone, and that feeling does a lot to a kid, especially one who doesn't even fully realize the situation they're in. That anger, that anguish and anxiety and just not knowing what to do or why you feel this way. But for Bella in this story, she's been told over and over again, she's a monster. She's not good. So, am I the monster they say, is a very powerful line. And then we get the bridge to the last chorus.
With all the lies I was crumbling, dying inside, wanting to save you with all of my might, but this world is against me, I must stay and fight, 'cause I know we'll get through this dark and lonely night.
This, again, is another shift in Bella's mindset, and finally having the same mindset that she's had for her siblings for herself. And if you've noticed, with the first chorus, it has "because I know you'll get through this dark and lonely night," and changes to "because I know we'll get through this dark and lonely night." That change was very intentional because at first, she wasn't considering herself. But in the second chorus, she does consider herself and includes herself. Instead of saying you, she says we. And I think that's the most important change for that chorus and giving it that very hopeful ending. And it starts with "I'll hold you tight for now as I say all my distant goodbyes," and ends with "farewell all my distant goodbyes." And that change is very crucial for Bella's character because it shows her growth. I don't think I could have ended it any better. I'm really glad that I wrote it this way. And if I recall correctly, I was like 16 when I recorded the full track for this song. And oh my god, I'm 20 now. Fuck, that feels weird to say. I was a teenie. Oh goodness gracious. You can really tell that some of this is unscripted. But in a good way. The best way I can end this video is by summarizing what I have seen people take away from this song. I remember when my dad played it for all his coworkers at work, and every single person thought of a person that they truly cared about. And I think that's something very special. Because while they don't know the story behind the song, since I'm the writer of the song and the writer of these characters that are featured in the song, they still got the general idea of Bella's love for her siblings, Benjamin and Dawn. And, you know, I think that's something very beautiful. In short, Distant Goodbyes is a song that tells people they're not alone, that there is a way out of the dark and lonely night, that you're not the monster they say, and that you can say farewell to all those distant goodbyes, to paint the skies with pigments of life, and be there for people you care about. Woo! That was a different type of video that I normally don't really do, but I think it was genuinely worth it. As I'm recording this part of the audio, it is sadly past the anniversary, but man, still worth it making this type of video. I'm really glad that I did. If you want me to make another breakdown for like one of my other songs, like Garden of Art, please let me know in the comments below. I would be so eager to share. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please click like and subscribe, and don't die tonight because that would kind of suck. I don't know what funny thing I could say at the end. I just lost it. Anyway, this is BELATED signing out. Bye.